We'll try it. Hey, hi guys. Got some of my yard done. We put a fence up behind the house. I'm still kind of leery about letting them big dogs out there because the fence is I think it's a 4-foot fence. But these dogs are sight driven. They see something out there, they want to go after it. So we got these church people in that parking lot over there. And I'm kind of wondering if I need to put another fence, a barrier in the fence so they can't see through it. I don't know. Or just let them bark. But they're big enough, I'm afraid they could go over the fence if they had a notion. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. You know, just another day. We're a day closer to being taken out of here. We're looking for that, ain't we, Marcia?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are. We're ready for that. I'm looking at Ephesians 2:15 here, and I didn't have very many references to it, but you know, it's every one of these is if we dig into them, man, there can be a lot of stuff in it, and that's what we do on a lot of it. We're starting to do on Ephesians 5. I've been having phone calls come in, and we discuss a verse and make some notes about it, and then I put the references together. It really makes it nice to bring so much extra into a verse. I think is important. But anyway, I'm going to have these together, and if y'all want copies of these, let me know, and if I do them, I can go in and put them up on the computer and get that done. So that won't be a big deal. We can mail it out to you if you so desire. So Ephesians 2:15. Let me get my. I gotta make some. I want to read this up to where we're at because we'll get the references in here, because references sometimes, you know, you see a reference on things, and I know the reason I started doing this is I'd go to Mom's and we'd have that's the first 15. We'd sit there and look around at the scriptures, and in the middle of the Bibles would be a column with references in it. And you go over here for this and go over here. So we done that back and forth, and I thought, you know, because it went all over, it bounces all over. And but it's neat to just pull it out for Paul's letters, just for him. So that's what I've got here. Ephesians 2:15, which says, nullifying the law of the enmity in his flesh, nullifying the law of precepts and decrees, that he should be creating the two into one new humanity, making peace. Okay, so I looked up the word enmity here in the back of the Concordant New Testament. It's got a Greek-English keyword in the back of it. Enmity means, and the Greek element is have reign. So it's mentioned in Luke 23:12. It's mentioned in Romans 8:7. His flesh at the enmity. It's mentioned in James 4:4 and Galatians 5:20, and then of course here in Ephesians 2:15 and 16. Right, so that's where it's at. Enmity, to have reign. Our flesh, you know, is running. So in any way, the enmity in his flesh, nullifying the laws of precepts and decrees, that he should be creating the two in himself into one new humanity, making peace. See, we're a new creation in Christ. When we are fully, when we're vivified, which that's what's going on. Christ was the first ones to be vivified, to be pulled out of being dead, out of the dead state, and to be made alive beyond the reach of death. He was the first. And we are to follow suit because we're part of the first fruits. Right? So, Let's see here. So if I bring it down into context, let's see where we go. Let's go up to verse 8. For in grace, through faith are you saved, and this is not out of you, it is God's approach present. Not of works, lest anyone should be boasting. God's approach present. You know, it's all Him. It's not us. There's nothing we can boast in. It's all God. For His achievements are we. Here in verse 10, for His achievements are we, being created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God makes ready. We don't have good works. God put them in us. He makes ready. God makes ready beforehand that we should be walking in them. Wherefore, remember that once you, the nations, in flesh, who are termed uncircumcision by those termed circumcision in flesh, that was made by hands, that you were in that era apart from Christ, being alienated from the citizenship of Israel, and guests of the promised covenants, having no expectation, and without God in the world. Yet now in Christ Jesus, you who once are far off are become near by the blood of Christ. For He is our peace, who makes both one and rises the central wall, the barrier, the enmity, the ruin in His flesh, nullifying the law of precepts and decrees, that He should be creating the two in Himself into one new humanity, making peace, and should be reconciling both into one body to God through the cross, killing the enmity in it. And coming, He brings the evangel of peace to you, those afar, and peace to those near. For through Him we both have had the access in one Spirit to the Father. So let's look at these references. And you, being once estranged and enemies in comprehension, in our understanding, by wicked acts, yet now He reconciles by His body of flesh through His death to present you holy and flawless and unimpeachable in His sight. Colossians 1:21 and 22. Unimpeachable in His sight. Can you imagine that? It says right there, it says, to present you holy and flawless and unimpeachable in His sight. Wow, that's in Colossians 1:21 and 22. For whoever are of works of law are under a curse. We don't do the law. For it is written that a curse is everyone who is not remaining in all things written in the scroll of the law to do them. So Galatians 3 verse 15. Yeah, we're not under the law. We've been graced. Graced. Man, that's a good one. Being entombed together with Him in baptism, and whom you aroused also through faith in the operation of God. That's God's operation, right? We're just here. I mean, He put us here for this purpose. Who rouses Him out from among the dead, who rouses Christ out from among the dead, you also, being dead to the offenses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, He vivifies us together jointly with Him, dealing graciously with all our offenses, erasing the handwriting of the decrees against us, which was hostile to us, and has taken it away out of the midst, nailing it to the cross, stripping off the sovereignties and the authorities. With boldness He makes a show of them, triumphing over them in it. Colossians 2:12 through 15. Yeah, nailing it to the cross. Yep. If then you died together with Christ from the elements of the world, why, as living in the world, are you subject to decrees? You know, we don't have laws to keep. I know in the Worldwide Church we had all the those holy days that we went to. I don't know how many there was, 6 or 7. And, you know, we had to do that if we were subject to them. Colossians 2:20 says, why? It asks you the question, why? You died with Christ. You was buried with Him. You was entombed with Him. You were roused with Him. You're in the. Why are you still looking at the elements of the world? We're in the celestial realm with Christ. So that we from now on are acquainted with no one according to flesh. Yet even if we have known Christ according to flesh, nevertheless we know Him no longer. So that If anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. The primitive passed by. Lo, there has come new. 2 Corinthians 5:16 and 17. For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision nor uncircumcision is anything, but a new creation. Galatians 6:15. Yeah, we're just a new creation. Out of whom the entire body, being articulated together, and united through every assimilation of the supply, and accord the operation and measure of each one's part, is making for the growth of the body, for the upbuilding of itself in love. Ephesians 4:16. Do not lie to one another, stripping off the old humanity together with its practices, and putting on the young, which is being renewed into recognition to accord the image of the one who creates it, wherein there is no Greek and no Jew, circumcision and uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian or slave, a free man, but all and in all is Christ. Colossians 3:9 through 11. Those are the references to Ephesians 2, verse 15, right? So if you want any of them, let me know and I'll email them to you. Be no problem. I'd like to do that. You all get those, and we just have a good time putting them together, right? So anyway, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to do the article. John Essex got an article up. I listened to John Essex. Judy Coleman had a cassette, and she gave that to me, right? She sent it to me. She put it over on a MP3 file, and she emailed it to me, and I can listen. I can't share it. I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't figure out how to share it. But so I heard John Essex for the first time. That's pretty neat, to hear that. So anyway, so I'm going to be doing an article here by John Essex, and the title is, let me get over here to him. It's the third one I've done, and this one would be the place of the Ecclesian God's purpose, part 3, Among the Celestials is the name of this one. So I'm going to go do a live stream on that and read that. It's a lengthy little article, and read it and see what we got in that. So anyway, we'll catch that later. But right now, we got this one done, and so we'll Marcia, you got anything you want to say? I'm over here jabbering away.
No.
You got anything up you want to say?
No.
She's kind of.
If I did, I wouldn't be able to.
She's having a good time.
Put in there to squeeze a spot.
Yeah. She was out walking a lot yesterday, and man, it was nice to see her walking around. She got the shots in her kneecaps and her knees. They done what kind of shot that was? It's a cortisone shot or something. Put that in her knees, and man, she can walk good now. It's nice watching her out there walking around. Took them long enough to get them done, but until they can get in and repair the tears in her. And what is that? That's tore? Meniscus. It's torn on her knees, so they want to go in and fix that. But anyway, this is hold her over temporary until we can get taken out of here or go see a surgeon. So let's hope for the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hope for the first. All right, guys. We love you. Hope y'all have a good afternoon. Grace and peace and much love to y'all. And we'll talk to you again soon. See you next time.